You say I'm living on the fringe. I say I'm living on the fringe.
Up next, we have Greyson Hayles. Greyson is our youngest performer at High Desert Fringe this year. He's 14, and I'm so excited to see his show. We've had an opportunity to watch him grow up over the past couple of years, and he is an author. Greyson is going to be sharing excerpts from his novel, The Soul of the Kingdoms, Book 1. And the story revolves around Jacob, who has lost his father and tries to free the world from his father's killer. Will the journey ever be fulfilled?
Hey, Anne, can I say something about Greyson before we?
Yeah,
I just this past week we some of us had worked on a film with another past performer, and the what do you call it? The trailer came out. And I just want to note that Greyson was actually in that film with us.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
So his
All right. Well, I'm
going
to bring
actor and writer. Sorry.
Yeah. He's doing all kinds of fun stuff, and I'm excited to see what he does as he goes into high school and beyond. All right, so I'm going to bring in Greyson. Hi, Greyson. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi. All right.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead, Greyson, whenever you're ready.
Okay. I'm a breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, maybe just take a sip of water. Okay. Introduction. This is a story about a boy named Jacob who, after losing his father, sets out on a journey to thwart his father's killer. He is accompanied by other friends in this journey, but there is a secret about his father's killer that is yet to be revealed. Book 1, Chapter 1. In this world, it is kill or be killed. Unfortunately for Jacob, he would experience that firsthand. Jacob is a muscular teenager with spiky black hair. He wears a black jacket and a white tank top under it. He also has red eyes. Jacob was in history class reading his textbook while listening to the radio. A siren went off. Everyone left out of the building and tried to run home. Jacob sprinted out of the classroom, seeing bodies on the ground. Suddenly, blood splattered on Jacob's face. Jacob finally made it home, where his father, Adam, grabbed and hugged him. There was a loud bang. "Stay down," Adam said. Jacob got down. He waited until he could not take it anymore. He got up and rushed to his dad, but he was too late. His father lay there, blood coming out of the hole in his back. A figure wearing a dark red cloak appeared. Jacob looked at him, red eyes seeping into Jacob's mind. Black smoke clouded around the man, and he was gone. Jacob went to his father, holding his hand. Tears streamed down his face. Jacob got up and grabbed his sword from the shelf in the living room and unsheathed it. The sword was broad and massive. It was a claymore, with writing etched into the blade and the crossguard. Jacob read the inscription on the blade and sheathed it. Jacob ran out to find his friends, his face still wet with tears. His friends Cecilia and Conan were waiting for him. Conan has blonde curly hair. He is average build and he wears normal t-shirts and shorts. Cecilia has beautiful long brown hair and freckles. In the forest, when Jacob saw them, he smiled and broke down crying. Conan and Cecilia ran to him. "Hey, are you okay?" Conan said. "Dad is dead," Jacob said. He choked out his words in between sniffles from crying. Cecilia wrapped her arms around him. She wanted to give an inspiring, "It's going to be okay," but she knew he did not believe it. Jacob walked with them. Thoughts of the images of his father's brutal death and his killer's eyes overcame him. Jacob launched fire at a nearby tree. Conan looked surprised, but Cecilia just looked at him, saddened by what her friend might become. They packed up their belongings and began their journey. Their travels led them to a small town. It was amazing. The town had swordsmiths, which are rare nowadays. The school children were practicing using their magic, and on the other side of their class, kids were training with their weapons. Jacob even saw the commissioner walking around town. They found a hotel and paid for a room. They unpacked their things and Chapter 2. Adam and his wife Alice were lying in bed when there was a bang at their door. It was Levi and his soldiers. Why, hello, Adam, Alice. I would say I am happy to see you, but I'd be lying. I don't feel emotions. Alice, for ignoring me and disobeying me, even though I am your leader. He unsheathed his rapier. You will learn to respect me. Levi stabbed her in the stomach, blood staining the blade. She fell over. Celia said, "Yes," Jacob said, his body shifting. "You're lying," Celia said, smirking. Come on, tell me what was bothering you," Cecilia said. "I'm fine." "You're lying again." Cecilia looked at Jacob like a stern parent. "Stop keeping secrets from me. I am your friend." "I'm fine," Jacob balled his fist. "You're not fine. I said I'm fine!" "Jacob, these magical outbursts are getting out of hand," Cecilia said. "Why don't you see a therapist?" Cecilia smiled at Jacob but quickly stopped. "I don't need mental help," Jacob said. "You do." Cecilia looked at Jacob seriously. "If you keep on bottling up your feelings like this, it won't be good, especially if you can't control your magic yet." Jacob walked out, and Cecilia touched his shoulder. "Don't burn any..." Chapter 3. After his walk, Cecilia picked up a newspaper and gave it to Jacob. "Read it," she said. Jacob scanned the pages. He was furious. He slammed the newspaper down and ran out. Cecilia and Conan ran after him. "Okay, I have an idea," Conan said. "What is it?" Jacob said. You dress up as a Nordum soldier and trick the soldiers into letting you in." Jacob nodded. Cecilia and Conan joined Jacob. They went to the train station, bought tickets, and boarded the train. While they were on the train, a little girl in a black dress was crying. Her black dress reminded Jacob of his mother. He leaned closer to the little girl. She stopped crying and gently touched Jacob's face. Jacob smiled at the girl and patted her head. Cecilia looked at Jacob, smiling at his first glimpse of happiness in a while. The train stopped. Jacob waved goodbye to the little girl and got off the train. On the way to the Mortem barracks, Jacob found a clean Mortem soldier uniform. It had red emblazoned all over the coat, with a black X on the armlet. Jacob put on the uniform, and the crew walked to the barracks. "Nemolneg ole," Jacob said in a language Conan and Cecilia didn't quite understand. "Bonigis ot ire oi era ole?" the soldier asked. "Sidef gon demos tegem tells tubse." Conan pulled out his pistol. "Who the hell are these filthy humans?" the soldier said. "You don't have to know who we are," Conan said. "All we want you to do is let us in." Jacob looked at Cecilia. Cecilia closed her eyes. "You will let us in," Cecilia said, and snapped her fingers. Suddenly, a strange feeling overcame the soldier. He stepped aside and let them in. Jacob went to a room and knocked on the door. "Who is it?" the occupant said. The door opened. "Who the hell are you?" Mark said. Mark has the same features as Jacob, except Mark has long black hair. "I'm Jacob, your older brother." Mark looked at Jacob with disgust. Oh, now you want to come save me. "Why didn't you save me when you kidnapped me, huh?" Jacob said, before getting interrupted. "I don't want to hear it," Mark said. Just trying to what? "I'm just trying to help you." Fire shot from Jacob's hand and landed at Mark's feet. "Well, Levi is coming soon," Mark said. Levi walked into the barracks room. "Oh, Jacob, don't suppose you remember me," Levi said. Levi's dark red cloak and rapier was enough for Jacob to know who he was. "Come on, Jacob. Let's have a little chat. You come too, Mark," Levi said. They walked out of the barracks to a mansion. The entrance to the mansion had the black X on the carpet, and there was a big flag with the same black X on it. Levi unsheathed the sword. The sword had the black X emblazoned on the blade. The hilt and the crossguard were curved where it looked like two spikes. Levi pointed to Jacob's sword in its sheath. "Go on," Levi said. Jacob unsheathed his sword. Jacob slashed at Levi. He blocked. Levi lunged. Jacob parried and slashed at Levi's leg. Levi scoffed. "That all you can do?" Levi said, smirking. Jacob rolled his eyes and slashed at Levi's arm. Levi flinched a little as blood splayed from the place his arm once was. "All right, match over," Levi said. "Really? That's it? I would expect more from a leader," Mark said, smirking. Levi put his hands around Mark's throat. "Shut up, you brat," Levi said. "Let him go," Jacob said. Levi pushed Mark down and pinned him down. Jacob ran over to Levi in a fleeting moment and punched him in the face. Levi's nose bled, and he looked at Jacob in fury. "Come on, guys, run," Jacob said. They ran out as Levi chased them. You'll pay! You'll pay!" Levi screamed. They returned to the train station. The train drove off. Mark rested his head on Jacob's shoulder, and Jacob patted his head like he did when he was a baby. I'm sorry, Jacob, Mark said, his voice breaking. It's okay, Jacob said, tears welling in his face. You're safe now. Chapter 4. Jacob saw the flag with the black X on it. Crap, Jacob exclaimed. Jacob walked out of the house with Cecilia and Conan. Mark, stay right there, Cecilia said. Levi was harming the townsfolk. Jacob, Conan, and Cecilia ran. Jacob's heart was racing and panting, but he wouldn't let him or his friends get killed. The images of his dad's killer's eyes and his father's body flashed in his mind. But he kept running until they got to the police station. Levi appeared behind Jacob. I'll kill you, Jacob yelled. Levi disappeared. Killing him won't get you anywhere, Cecilia said. You'll be the same as him. I don't care, Jacob said. Jacob fell and clenched his stomach. Jacob, Conan exclaimed. He ran over to Jacob. I'm fine, Jacob said. Blood started coming towards somebody, and it turned into claws. Hello, Levi told me all about you, the girl said in a sweet tone. She walked from the darkness. A black cloak was revealed. She chuckled. Hey, the name's Violet, but you can call me, Violet said, but got interrupted. Enough with the pleasantries. If you have a problem, we'll duel. I won't pass up a duel, Jacob said. I apologize. Levi did tell me to kill you, Violet said. She revealed long nails to the point where they looked like claws and cut her hand. Blood trickled down her hand. The blood floated up and turned into a sword. Jacob unsheathed the sword. Violet dashed towards Jacob, their swords clanging loudly. Jacob slashed at Violet's cheek, blood trickling down her face. Violet laughed and shot a spike of blood at Jacob's chest. He fell. Violet walked off. Jacob took the spike out and it dissolved. So are you going to explain to me what the hell just happened? Chapter 5. Jacob was laying in his bed and he struggled to get up. Levi appeared in his room. Jacob finally got up and grabbed a sword and pointed it at Levi. What are you doing here? Jacob said. I want Mark. Hand him over to me or watch your home burn, Levi said and disappeared. Jacob widened his eyes and cursed to himself. He got up and got dressed in his black leather jacket and his bright tank top and went outside and saw Levi and his soldiers walking to the town. The guards grabbed their pistols and shot at Levi. He deflected the bullets and slashed at them with his rapier so fast it was almost a blur. Go! Hunt them down! Levi yelled. Conan, escort everyone outside to their homes, Jacob said. Conan nodded and got to work. Cecilia popped open her bottle of water and the water spilled out into the air. Cecilia turned the water into a dome around her and slammed her hand down, and it blasted the soldier's back. The water splattered to the ground. Cecilia redirected the water back into the bottle. Okay, you can come out now, Jacob said. Levi walked away and disappeared. Jacob went to his room and laid down for a good 5 minutes until getting up, and he saw his father for a split second. He went and put on his jacket and his shoes and walked to the kitchen and bumped into Cecilia. Oh, sorry, Cecilia laughed. All right, see you later. I'm going out to refill my water bottle, Cecilia said. Jacob nodded. Cecilia looked at Jacob. Your collar is not right. Here, let me fix it, Cecilia said and walked to Jacob and started straightening his collar. And she looked up at Jacob and kissed him. And she walked away and shut the door. Holy crap. Jacob walked back to his room and slept. A couple hours later, Jacob had a huge decision to make. He walked into the kitchen where everyone was. Guys, I've decided to leave to master my fire magic, Jacob said. Okay, Cecilia said. Cecilia and Conan got up and went to hug him. We'll miss you, Conan said. Cecilia nodded and wiped tears from her eyes. Jacob picked up his bag full of stuff that he needs for his journey. Clothing, matches, his sword, and a picture of his family. When the train arrived, Jacob gave one last hug and kiss to Cecilia and waved goodbye to his family, and got on the train and sat in his seat. He saw the same little girl in the black dress. He smiled. I'm sure they won't change a bit. All right, here's a sneak peek of book 2. All right, chapter 1. Today was the day Jacob returned home to his friends. Jacob woke up, he and walked to the train station. The train arrived and Jacob got on the train. When Jacob got off the train, he felt heavily nostalgic tears stream down his face. This is it. This is home, Jacob said, his voice breaking. Jacob walked around to find Cecilia first. She was teaching his class as a substitute teacher. Jacob closed his eyes. He felt a tugging sensation and he appeared behind Cecilia, smoke coming from his feet. He felt a little woozy after teleporting. Jacob touched Cecilia's shoulders. Cecilia looked at Jacob. He now had a beard. He had long black hair instead of his normal spiky hair. He had modified his old sword to be lighter. Thank Mashmiro, I can see you again, Cecilia said softly. Cecilia gave Jacob a warm and protective hug. Now, children, I will explain what magic comes from. And Cecilia began. She got interrupted by one of the kids. I already know about magic, this kid said. All right then, Joseph, tell us, Cecilia said, raising her brow. Joseph began. All right, class, since Joseph can't explain it, I'll explain it, Cecilia said jokingly. So magic comes from your body, which means when you use your magic, you have to breathe. Now let's try summoning an object. Let's try summoning that stapler, Cecilia said. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now say, summon a victim stapler, Cecilia said. A blue-haired girl wearing a blue dress and with cat ears and a tail. When she saw Jacob, her ears twitched a bit. She ran to Jacob and gave him a hug. She was adorably shorter than Jacob. Hey, Melissa, how have you been? Jacob said, laughing. I've been great, Melissa said. That's amazing. You have grown so much since I last saw you. Melissa blushed a little bit. Thanks, Melissa said softly. Anyway, Cecilia wanted us to surprise you. Cecilia walked in front of Jacob. What am I supposed to be looking at? Jacob said. Cecilia pointed to her stomach. Cecilia rolled her eyes. She's pregnant, dum-dum, Melissa said. Jacob looked shocked. That's great, Jacob said awkwardly. And this ends the thing.
That's awesome, Greyson.
All right.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Awesome, great. We have a few more minutes in your time slot. I want to ask you a couple questions maybe about what inspired you to write this story. It's obviously magical. It's in another world. What inspired you?
It was like maybe back in 2013, 2014 when I got the idea. The book was originally titled Memories, and I wrote, and the first draft is nowhere to be found anymore because it was horrible. But I went through like 3 or 4 drafts in the span of a couple of years, and then I finally settled on this one.
So you wrote this. You started this 3 or 4 years ago when you were like 10 or 11.
Yeah, like 8 or 9. Yeah.
Wow. And how many? You started reading part of the second book. How many books are there?
What I planned for there to be is about 5 or whatever. Yeah, 5.
5. Okay. And I know when we started this process, you were working on a screenplay. A screenplay of this book. Is that what you're working on? It's
based off the book. It's a project that I'll be doing way later.
And what grade are you going into, Greyson? What grade are you going into?
8th grade.
You're going into 8th grade. Wow. And in school, do you do a lot of writing? Is writing like your favorite subject? It is?
Yep, and drama as well.
And drama as well. And what do you do when you're not writing and doing drama?
I'm usually working on other projects that I work on as well.
Okay. And how have you been dealing with all of the stuff that's been happening in the world? Like, did you enjoy the sheltering at home process or?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was it gave me a lot of time to work on my projects and stuff like that.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I know Kevin is your dad, and do you have any other like pets and things that hang out with you guys at the house?
No, I mean some things that happen. We sometimes we go out, get something to eat or whatever, but yeah, we sometimes get something to eat. We talk and stuff like that because I don't have much people to talk to except for online friends.
Okay, and have you been spending a lot of time online, texting and doing like that? Okay, and then what do you think about the Hi DeF Fringe Festival? Are you having a good time so far? Does the process work for you?
It's a
what do you want to tell the world who's watching about your writing process, about the world, the state of events? Anything you want to share with us?
I might, if you allow me, I could reveal some of the characters' ages.
That'd be great. Yeah, do tell us more.
So during book 1, Jacob is like 18, 19 years old, and during book 2, he is like 20, like in his 20s, mid 20s.
Okay.
It was a 3-year gap of his journey, as in like when he left to go train, it was a 3 or 4 year period of time.
Hey, I got a question for you as a writer. So you were started this when you were 8 or 9, right? You're now 14, and you're writing about characters that are like in their 18s. They're like 18 and older. What's your inspiration for writing those older characters?
Mostly because what inspired me was just like things like, I don't know. I didn't really get inspired. I just wanted to make characters that were like older because usually things of the young adult thing usually always has teenagers, and I wanted to stray away from that. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a lot of them adults.
That's really inspirational. Anything else you want to say to our audience out there?
I hope you guys enjoyed it. I guess be on the lookout for other projects. I will work on.
Awesome. Okay.
Right.
Greyson Hayles. Hey, I just want to ask you. I'm not really pushing the film, but I was talking about it. Do you remember working on the film Rasputin's Curse with us?
Yeah, I do.
Was filmmaking fun for you?
Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was a good thing I was an extra because I didn't really have that many lines.
I've got to say though, Greyson, it always made my day when I saw that you were going to be on set that day. So yeah, you're a great acting partner to work with.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, Greyson, thank you so much. And Anne, we're going to turn this back over to you.
Okay.
Oh, great. Thanks, Greyson.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right.
Living on the Fringe. Here we are.
Do I just end the Zoom? Do I just leave? Okay.
You say I'm living on the fringe. I say I'm living on the fringe.